Welcome again to the Common Sense Student. I'm back online. My name is David NC, and I'm here today with an inspirational video for you. I believe our world today is full of people who are not happy with being themselves. People who feel compelled to be imitators or a carbon print of someone else. Yes, it is hard to not conform to being who others might want us to be. But once you decide to live other people's expectations of you, it always requires that you automatically reject yourself. The interesting fact is that most times unknowingly, we become the image of someone else without even realizing it. Because we were trained and conditioned and pressured into doing so from we were children. Therefore, what you believe to be your own beliefs, way of living, habits, decisions and choices might not even be your values at all. Which brings me to the title of today's video, Don't Be Like Mike. I'm sure you know who Michael Jordan is. He's a former professional basketball player. Well, in August of 1991, Michael Jordan did an ad for Gatorade, and the tagline was, "Be like Mike, drink Gatorade." Michael Jordan was shown playing with basketball with various children and adults, which was done to a theme song which says, wishing you could be like the basketball player. The message conveyed by the ad was that if you drank Gatorade, you'll be just as talented and successful as Michael Jordan in whatever you do, which includes, of course, playing basketball. Michael Jordan back then was the best player in the NBA league and is still considered today to be one of the greatest players of all time. However, Michael Jordan officially retired from basketball over 20 years ago in 2003. Yet basketball players are still copying his moves, his style of play, and his mannerisms. Players are still trying to be like Mike. The common trap is that most young professional basketball players, fall into, is when the usual comparison is made to Michael Jordan. Sports journalists or people would say he's going to be the next Michael Jordan. When a player accepts that comparison without their own disclaimer of being thankful to being compared to Michael Jordan and then follow up by saying, "I am not the next Michael Jordan. I'm going to be or to create my own destiny by being the best player I can be." If that distinction is not made, then there'll always be a facsimile Michael Jordan, never claiming their authentic identity as a great player. Because accepting that you are the next anyone automatically diminishes your worth. But don't get me wrong, Michael Jordan's accomplishments on the court are beyond repute. His fierce aggression, his knowledge of the game, his championship mindset, his skill and athleticism are some of his many attributes. He furthered his accomplishments off the court by establishing himself as a superb businessman. He was the first athlete to be a billionaire, which he accomplished after retiring. For 13 years, he was the majority owner for the NBA team, the Charlotte Hornets, before selling his majority, stake or ownership last year in August of 2023. His sneakers still outsell until this day all other sneakers endorsed by athletes. He's a brand all by himself. These things we can learn from someone else and emulate by means of inspiration without diluting our own uniqueness. Now, in our personal lives, Especially when we were children, we would often be compared to an older sibling, cousins, or the neighbor's children next door. You would hear things like, why can't you be like such and such? It could be because whoever you are being compared to was doing better than you in school, or was better disciplined, or well behaved. As I previously said, this is where the conditioning, began. It doesn't matter what the reasons were that you were being compared, for. It would still hurt because no one likes being negatively compared to anyone. You could even have parents who were overachievers, and the pressure to measure up to their standards forced you to copy their career paths or choices, or likes or dislikes, which sidelined your own plans, dreams, and ambitions. Subtly and unconsciously, we all start being like those we admire or feel pressured to copy without being aware of it. Now, here are my final thoughts. Use the accomplishments or achievements of others only as a template, just as how Michael Jordan studied the great players before him, then proceeded to distinguish himself from his predecessors by becoming an even better athlete, which means the success of others is only a template or a format that we should use to develop our own blueprint for success. Because when we live in the shadow of someone else's life, aimlessly trying to copy or be like them, it's comparable to never being born in the hypothetical sense. You never existed. We never got the chance or the opportunity to see your evolution and growth. We'll never get to know the real you. But society doesn't endorse being independent in any way, being able to think for yourself, to live your own dreams. So you're going to have to be willing to be you by force. You're going to have to fight, suffer rejection from the groupies and the misguided followers. Then will you become your own force of nature. Then will you win. Then will we know you. Then will we always remember you for being you. So don't relegate yourself to being a mere carbon print. For this reason, don't ever be like Mike. Be your own work of art. Thanks for watching. See you soon.